Lovie Smith and the Houston Texans somehow pull off an absolute miracle, okay? 4th and 20, converted, get a touchdown there, go for 2, end up winning the game at the last second, okay, to give the Chicago Bears the #1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears post-game reaction video, although in this video, I will barely be talking about the Bears game because I'm sure everybody is more concerned about, not concerned, but very happy about the fact that some absolute effing miracle just happened in Indianapolis. Okay, I was watching that game side by side with the Bears game, obviously mostly watching, I would say, the Texans-Colts game, right? Because nobody cared about the Bears this late in the season, right? Like, our quarterbacks were out. We had a third stringer, Nathan Peterman. We had Tim Boyle also alternating, side by side. And obviously, we wanted the Bears to lose this game. So I was still watching the Bears game in the background, but honestly, mostly paying attention to the Colts-Texans game because that game mattered a lot, okay? That game was crucial for the Bears to somehow get the #1 overall pick in the draft, okay? We needed the Texans to somehow win, okay? Even though they only had 2 wins before this game, and they've looked terrible down the stretch, okay? We needed the Texans to somehow win this game, to pull out a miracle. Us Bears fans on Twitter were, like, live tweeting this game and, cheering on Lovie Smith, right? Because Lovie Smith was the head coach of the Texans, and we're rooting for, like, one last miracle, okay? For the Texans, for Lovie Smith to somehow pull it off, and man, that is exactly what they did. And guys, when I say the word miracle, it was literally a miracle. It was an absolute miracle that the Texans won that game. Okay, Davis Mills threw that game away multiple times. Okay, he had a pick 6. He had another interception late in that game. So at that point, I thought that the Texans definitely were going to lose. Okay, they were in outright tank mode and probably about to lose that game. So I had basically given up hope on the Bears potentially getting #1, right? Because it was also like 4th and 20 at one point. Okay, 4th and 20. And somehow the Colts defense just lets the ball go through them, okay, into the arms of whatever receiver caught that. They go for 2. The balls to go for 2 when you probably want to lose, okay? Obviously, Lovie Smith did not want to lose this game, which, shout out to Lovie, okay? I love this man. This guy is a Chicago legend, especially for winning this game, okay, for looking out for us one last time. Shout out to Lovie Smith because the Texans definitely did him dirty. They're probably going to fire him after this season no matter what. So Lovie didn't care about whatever the front office wanted to do with the #1 overall pick, okay? So he went for 2, and they miraculously got it there, okay? And then their defense held up at the end, and I was going crazy at the end of this game, okay? Hooting, hollering, and just jumping up and down like my team won a damn playoff game or something, because, guys, you have to understand how important the value is, okay? How crucial the value of the #1 overall pick in the draft is, okay? You get your choice between any player in the draft, any quarterback too, and that's the most important thing, guys. I mean, the Texans, they sucked the entire year, but they at least had the #1 overall pick and potentially Bryce Young to look forward to at the end of that. But now, that's probably not the case anymore, right? Because they blew it at the last second, okay? They sucked the entire year. Then at the last possible second, won a game, okay, to give the Bears the #1 overall pick, and potentially losing out on Bryce Young now, too, because now the Bears, if they want to trade back with the QB-needy team, like, maybe even the Colts, okay? The Colts are picking #5 now. They could trade up to #1 with the Bears, give the Bears an insane haul of picks. And the Texans then lost out on Bryce Young because of one win at the end of the year, okay? 1 2-point conversion, literally just, that could have cost them Bryce Young. They still could get to #1 if they want to trade now with the Bears, but now it's going to be like a Trubisky level trade, Trubisky 2017 trade, right? Where if they want to go up to #1 and prevent a different team from trading up, they're going to have to give up a lot to even move up 1 spot in the draft. So now the Bears have the option to maybe reverse engineer the Trubisky trade or move even further back and get even more. Like, the options for this offseason now just grow dramatically, right? Because now the Bears control the entire draft, okay? That's what #1 overall does. If the #1 overall pick is for sale, okay, that changes the entire draft. That changes the entire structure of the draft, right? Because it's going to affect every pick after that. And the Bears could, auction it for a king's ransom to help out a rebuild and speed up this rebuild a lot, okay? This was the best case scenario for the Bears, okay? To endure this horrible season that we've had to go through, okay? To go through all this losing, it was all worth it since we got the #1 overall pick, potentially, okay? Obviously, we still have to make good out of this #1 pick, okay? We still have to select the right players. We still have to make trades and actually get good players out of this, okay? So the work is not done, but now this increases, like, the options, the opportunities for Ryan Poles in the offseason. So just insane day, guys, for the future of the Chicago Bears. Like, you should be so excited now for the offseason, because sitting at number 2 would have been crazy, but sitting at number 1 is like a gold mine that we have just landed in, and we are so lucky to be there. Now, obviously, there will now be speculation about if the Bears want to go quarterback at number 1, but I don't think that's happening whatsoever. Okay, obviously Ryan Poles still is going to evaluate the quarterback class, evaluate Bryce Young, because he has to. Okay, that's his job as GM, but I don't think the Bears would be dumb enough to select quarterback when they've surrounded Justin Fields with absolutely nothing, and he's still shown flashes of potentially being great in the future. Now, obviously, we know that Justin Fields has to improve as a passer, but why not put him in a better situation now with these picks we're about to get from trading back? Okay, the absolute treasure chest of picks we are about to get. And, you know, if Justin Fields doesn't do good next year, still, okay, yeah, then you can maybe move on in 2024 when you're probably going to have an extra first round or two from, you know, trading back from this year's draft, right? So it's better to, you know, give Justin Fields one more year, and I think that he's going to do great things, okay, with the better roster around him. But if he doesn't, then yeah, 2024, which I think personally is a better quarterback class anyways, okay, Caleb Williams, May, okay, Drake May, we're not going to select quarterback. I think that Justin Fields is going to be totally fine. But I'm saying worst case scenario, even if Justin Fields does not do well next year, it's better to put the next rookie quarterback in a better situation than Justin Fields had with the Chicago Bears. But obviously, I don't think that's happening. I think that Justin Fields is going to be the Bears quarterback for a long time, okay, and break a lot of Bears records. All of them hopefully lead the Bears to a Super Bowl eventually. He's an unreal talent, okay, when he actually has a good team around him, even an average team, okay? He's never had an even average team in the NFL yet, okay? He's going to do great things for the Chicago Bears. So what an amazing day for the Chicago Bears, okay? We got so damn lucky to be in this position to be picking number 1 overall, even though there was like 7 games this year we lost by 1 possession, okay? So if like Velus Jones doesn't fumble a couple times, or if like Dante Pettis catches a ball in the end zone in the Commanders game, or if the refs don't screw us in the Dolphins game, like if any of those things just was overturned, okay, if the opposite thing happened, the Bears would not have the number 1 overall pick, okay? So much had to go right for us to get this number 1 overall pick. We had to have Baker Mayfield win a couple games. We had to have Brett Ripon too, okay, win a game for the Broncos. We had to have so much go right for us, okay? All these miracles that the Texans pulled out in the final week to win that game, like everything just came together and the Bears got blessed by the football gods. So unreal outcome for the Bears. We got so damn lucky. But talking about this Bears Vikings game just a little bit, obviously I won't talk about it for too long because you guys don't care about it too much, but just some brief takeaways for the future. So obviously Velus Jones, man, I mean, this guy had a 45-yard like a run basically where it was like a reverse, and he just somehow tiptoed down the sideline, showed off his insane burst, his insane acceleration to get down the field in a flash, okay, and score that touchdown, which maybe Velus could still be a good player. I mean, this guy's making a lot of plays now down the stretch for the Chicago Bears, okay? Multiple great returns in the last few weeks, multiple big plays too. Obviously, the big play caught against Buffalo. He had a really good run today, obviously, doing really good returns basically every single game now. And, you know, most important thing, not fumbling anymore, okay? Velus Jones can just not fumble. That's the biggest issue with this guy. If he can just get the ball security completely down to a T in the offseason, he could still be a great contributor for the Bears next year because his acceleration and speed is absolutely game-breaking, okay? Few players in the league are probably as fast as Velus Jones is when he gets the ball in space. So that's fantastic for the future, right? Because Velus Jones up until like week 11, week 12 was looking like a bust, okay? Barely playing, not knowing his assignments, obviously drops and fumbles galore, right? So cleaning those up in the last few weeks has been crucial for him, and hopefully, you know, next year is going to be doing that for the Chicago Bears when the games actually matter, okay? And hopefully the fumbling issue goes away next year. You can only hope, right? So Velus Jones played really well. Cole Kmet also had a few really nice catches. He had 4 receptions for 57 yards and a touchdown too. The running game went nowhere today because obviously, you know, we don't have the threat of Justin Fields running with the football, which is pretty big, okay? We had Nathan Peterman and Tim Boyle at quarterback, basically alternating every other series, or like every 2 series, right? So not much to talk about from the quarterback spot because obviously Peterman and Boyle are not going to be on the roster next year, I would think. And, you know, looking at the defense also, like we didn't have many guys even in the defense today that are going to be here for the future, okay? There was Jaquan Brisker in the secondary, but besides Jaquan Brisker, like everybody else was out. No Kyler Gordon, no Eddie Jackson, no Jalen Johnson. So like I don't care about anything that happened in this game because half these players will not be on the team next year. And thankfully, we were smart enough, okay, to rest Justin Fields for this game, to lose this game, lose out basically. We lost the last, I think, 10 games of the year, right? And we secured the #1 overall pick in the draft, so all of it was worth it. I'll be having a lot of offseason content out for you guys very, very soon, right? Discussing the draft, discussing offseason, moves that we can make, free agency too, probably a mock offseason out for you guys. Maybe like after the Super Bowl or something, or maybe even earlier, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people are interested in that right now. But, a lot of content coming out for you guys very soon, because this is going to be the most important offseason now in the history of the Chicago Bears. Okay, we have an insane amount of cap space. We have 130 plus million in cap space. We have the #1 overall pick in the draft on top of like 7 other picks in later rounds. So Ryan Poles, man, get to work, okay? You have a lot of work to do in front of you, obviously, because this roster is really bad. We are the worst team right now in the NFL, but good times are coming in Chicago, okay, if we get this rebuild right. So leave your comments down below, guys. What do you guys think about getting the #1 overall pick? What do you guys think the Bears are going to do in the offseason? It's going to be very, very exciting to see it all unfold and play out. Obviously, I'll have videos out for you guys covering all the moves the Bears make, and I appreciate all the support you guys showed on my channel this year too. I know this year absolutely sucked, but good times are coming very, very soon. Lovie Smith, you are absolutely amazing. We have to build a statue for you outside Soldier Field, but as always, guys, bear down.